Yeah. Oh, hey. Hey everyone. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another stream. Welcome back to yet another episode working on this guy right there. That is the 1/48 scale F-15E slash ROKAF or Republic of Korea Air Force. F-15K Slam Eagle is what we're basically changing this into, this guy here. He's going to be a South Korean plane, not North American. And yeah, so last time we kind of got onto cleaning up the canopy, that parting line that goes down the center of the canopy. Got that all cleaned up last time, and obviously I put some masking tape on this and getting it ready to paint the actual frame around there. Yeah, that's basically where this is sitting at now. I am kind of slowly getting into that phase where we're going to have to be putting some base coat down, some actual color onto the kit. But this time I wanted to get the landing gear kind of assembled and ready to be put on. I don't want to put the landing gear on before I paint it, but I want to get the parts assembled as we're getting closer to that painting stage, right? So we're going to take a look at these and see what needs to be done. Now, I've already preemptively done some nice white painting on these parts that need to be done, including the landing gear bay doors on the insides. I've got another sprue with more doors. We go from black on this side to white on this side. Yeah, because the color's going on that side. So there we got the white on the inside of the doors. And we got some more gear parts here that I've painted, plus the two wheels on the front there. For the front, I mean. So yeah, let's get to assembling these and see what we got to do. Alright, so let's get started. Alright, so I guess we'll start with our front landing gear. So we have to change my glasses. That's what we have to do. We as in me, just because I don't want to have to keep taking them off and on so often. Okay, so obviously we're going to have X1 and X2. This is the X tree, by the way. These pieces here are all eventually going to be painted gunmetal, but I'm going to take all the landing gear pieces off of the sprue first. So I'll change my camera view for you guys so you don't have to stare at my sunburnt face, and we'll do that. Bing. Hello. Yeah. Alright, so let's take our tires off of here first. I already seen where it's going to attach here. They kind of fudged up the hole a little bit, so I have to round that out, otherwise she ain't gonna fit. So there we go. That's first thing I noticed. I need to get some glue here. They have gone to the length of actually putting little holes and pegs to line them up. Is that necessary? Probably not, but that's what they've done. There's a lot of other kits, they don't bother with that kind of alignment because it's really not that necessary. Not on airplane tires. Okay, we're gonna let that dry. Obviously pre-painting this, yes, while it's on the sprue, when you take it off you get that little mark there and you wind up having to touch that up. But I find it a lot easier to do the detail around the rim painting when it's on the sprue rather than when it's in my hand or something like that. So that's why I do that. So next we need our main piece, X13. Big guy right here. You may also notice I have done the weathering on it with my Tamiya Panaline accent color. So that is going to be it for this, except for these, but these are going to be for the main gear, so I'll put that there. And yeah. Alright, so let's just clean up these little nubs. The one thing I did not do is our little shock here, the hydraulic. That needs to be silver. Or, you know, as close to chrome as you can. Which actually might give me a chance to try out some new chrome paint that I have. And I think I will do just that. This stuff here. This is Molotov. Or not, sorry, not Molotov. I'm thinking Molotov cocktail. Molotov. Is it Molotov or Molotov? I don't know. Anyway, they have this stuff, it's liquid chrome. This is actually the refill, and it comes in, you can get two different sizes of, like, it's like a paint pen, right? But I bought the refill because I want more. And I want to try this stuff out. I've seen some pretty good stuff online, especially if you, this is the closest thing I have seen personally in like YouTube videos where the guys like review different chrome paints, right? Obviously you are not ever going to get an exact duplicate of real chrome painting or chrome plating from a paint, because the process is just not the same. You're putting paint on and not actual metal. But I am building a model of a top fuel dragster, and I've got the engine here and I've got the blower that goes on top, and the chrome in the kit was really subpar, substandard, and so I stripped the chrome off, and so I need to re-chrome that blower on there. And from what I have seen on reviews online, this stuff comes out with a really super shiny chrome finish, even better than Alclad. And the problem is it's super delicate, so it rubs off like crazy. You just put your fingerprint on it and you can rub it off. So I'm waiting for a special type of clear coat that is supposed to protect this stuff and not make it dull, because regular clears like Tamiya Clear or X, you know, even like Mr. Hobby's GX series of super clears, this stuff just dulls out and becomes silver. But I'm getting sidetracked a little bit here. But there is apparently Spastix Clear doesn't do that. I've ordered a can of Spastix, so I'm going to test that out. But yeah, so let's just see how this stuff looks. Even though this is a refill, this tip is very small, so I'm going to grab a little paintbrush. I'll just reuse my regular one, so I need to just go on there. Let's see, this stuff is very thin. You can spray this stuff direct out of the can. It almost looks like I'm putting chrome on my paintbrush. That is crazy. Let's see how this paints. That is, wow. That is some shiny silver paint. Come on out. There we go. That is shiny paint. That's wow. Wow. That's chrome. let me clean my brush and I'll switch the camera and show you guys. Holy crap, I just painted some chrome on there. But I do have to clean this with lacquer thinner. Wow, if that stays like that, I just might buy 3 or 4 of these bottles. Holy crap. That is really impressive. Wow, I'll change the camera and show you guys this. This looks like I just put right in there. Camera's not doing it justice. This thing really... You know what I'm going to do? Bear with me a moment. I'm going to switch my camera because I've got my camera set to focus at this distance. I'm going to turn it to... because I didn't like my camera constantly hunting for focus. So I need to... see what have we got. Facecam Pro. Bear with me here while I go into my settings. Here we go. Okay. So, I'll hold this way up close here. It should get focus, and you can see that little chrome bit. That's like, I just painted that chrome. That is amazing. It's just like, wow, I'm blown away with that. Yeah. Wow. Okay. The chrome is done. Let's get to assembling this, okay? So, I need some pieces to go along with this. I need W15 and I need G3 and 4. I think G is the clear parts, which I'm going to have to find here now. In my little pile of stuff. That's these two here, yeah. Okay, W15, where's my W tree? W15 is this little rod right here. W15 goes like this, and we're going to attach it they just show it that. It's a little bit strange. They're not really giving me... Oh, I have it upside down. So let's try this. Maybe there's a proper attachment point like this. They show it going into this spot. They don't really show a proper attachment point for it. See, they show the line where this little peg is supposed to go, but it's going to the opposite side. They're not showing it very well here. And then this bottom little block just here, which would be here on the part, but then the little peg isn't kind of looks like it's supposed to go there. Okay, well, let's put some glue on it and we'll place it. It looks like there is a tiny little notch right here for it compared to the other side. Yeah, so that's it. That's where that little peg is supposed to go, is right there. There we go. So that's on. So let's take these guys off the sprue. These are another thing. These are probably not supposed to be completely clear, but have silver on the back of them, and only the front is clear because that's a clear light. But they haven't called it out. Well, they kind of have 316 and 305. I don't know what those are. I'm guessing 316 is white. 305, I don't know what color that is. Maybe red? Let's see if I can figure that out. There is a color chart in this book. I think it's at the back. Maybe not. Pass it, passed it. Oh, it's on the other sheet that comes in the kit. .305, gray. Okay, so they want gray. And 316 is, of course, white. Why is one gray and one white? That's ridiculous. I'm going to do both of them in neutral gray. Where did my brush go? There it is. So, just give a little touch of some color onto that. And onto this one. Now, hindsight being what it is, it would have been smarter to put a little bit of silver on the back first and then cover the silver with the gray. That would have been a smarter thing to do. So, I'm going to see if I can actually strip that off. I have some Tamiya X20 thinner that I haven't opened in a while. I'm going to see if this strips it off. Without wrecking the plastic. And it does. Pretty good. So if you use pure lacquer thinner, then you're just going to wreck it. See, lacquer thinner will eat styrene. Where Tamiya's lacquer thinner and their X20 won't touch it. So that is nice. It's cleaned up. Now we've got clear lenses again. Okay. And since that Molotow paint was so nice, I'm going to put some of that down on there, and then I'll put the gray over to the top. There we go. Let's see, it's still not perfect through there, but it's better than it was. So, put our lid back on. We'll let that sit for a little bit. I want that to dry good. I'm not sure how long it takes for the Molotow paint to dry. So that'll be a good test. We'll see how long that takes and go from there. It's always interesting to see what comes off my brush when I put it in lacquer thinner. To see what paints, what I thought it had dried on. Okay, so our tire is dry, clearly dry by now. I want to get rid of our little bit of a seam line we've got going on in it. So I will just use my flat little file here and just get rid of that center seam line we've got, and I'll have to touch it up. It just doesn't look right, including my little nub mark there. But there's a center seam that's showing, and of course the other side of the other nub mark where it was attached. There we go. That looks better, much better. That's ready to be put on. So assuming this is going to fit, and it does. Now, do I put it on there and then paint it, or do I paint it and then put it on? That's the big question. Because now you have it assembled, you need to paint in this little spot and you need to be careful about it, right? Whereas if the wheel is off, then you don't have to be careful about it. Alternatively, just have it dry fit like that and let it sit, and you can turn the wheel on that peg. Or there's another thing a lot of guys do. Let's grab a toothpick. Shove that toothpick in there. Now this is a little bit wonky. Let's try that. There we go. There, now it's easy to paint. And it's on a toothpick, so it's easy to find. But we've got two more wheels that we are going to have to deal with. So let's hold off on painting that for now. That's going to be it for this. Let's just do a little touch test on our Molotow paint here to see how dry this is. It's still a bit tacky. So this obviously does take quite a while to dry. So it's already been, to me a paint would have been dry completely by now. We have decals to put on here, and I am not prepared to do decals right now. So let's move on to the main landing gear pieces. We'll start by assembling our tires. 2 tires, 4 pieces. It's kind of funny, they've gone to the point of realism on these. That they're flattened. So you better make sure that you have them in the right orientation when you actually put them on the plane. Or it's going to look pretty funny. Okay, there's one. You know, when I was a kid, I really used to like trying to have the wheels actually turn so that I could roll it like the plane is on, you know, on the tarmac or something like that, and pretend that it's like taking off, right? And I hated that when you had to glue the wheels solid. As a kid, that really used to bug me. Okay, so let's start with X-15, okay, because we got 15 and we got 16. So just so we reduce confusion as to which side is which, we'll do 15, we'll do that first here. Okay, so there's 15. And then what do we need? Stuff off the W tree. Okay. And off the W tree, we need 9, 10, 16, 32, and 35. So 9, 10. Well, here's 32. 32, 35 is this guy here, and then we need 9 and 10. Nine and 10. All right. Let's see if there's any nubs we need to clean. It's pretty good. It's one thing I like about landing gear pieces like this is if you have a bit of a nub that's sticking out, or you've painted and it's showing that detail, it works out pretty good. I also need 16. I didn't get 16. Where is 16? It looks very, very small. Ah, it's these 2 pieces. I was wondering what those were for. And it almost seems like an unnecessary piece. Okay, so with this in this orientation, like that, we have this piece is going to go in like that, okay? builds that up. There's 9 there, and 32. 10 is going to go like this here. Technically this little spot here I could, I think that's supposed to be chrome also. I'll paint that once I've got this assembled and it's all dry. We have this little guy. It's going to go, it looks like he's going to go in that little slot right there. They don't really show it because they don't have it. They show it for the other side, so yes, it is going in that tiny little slot right there. I need to see if he's going to interfere with the wheel. I'll give the wheel just a little bit of clearance there. So it's not quite 90 degrees. I don't know if you can see that on the camera. Not quite 90 degrees, but it's very, very close. And last we have this guy. This guy's going to go down in this particular position. He is going to get lined up onto this with this being positioned into that little spot there. So this is where things get a little bit tricky because you got multiple points of articulation. Although it's not really articulating, it's just multiple points of contact on a couple of pieces. Maybe something like that. And this has to go like this. Connect into that. And then in there. Okay, for this one, I'm going to use my extra thin. At the end of the day, this should be pretty good. I can try to do a bit of a test fit on the fuselage. see how this will line up. If it lines up, this will actually post. The angle at which they have this doesn't fit. If I turn this around, this is backwards. But they have put the hole that this peg is supposed to go in way too far to one side. And so it doesn't line up. The hole for this peg is not big enough, so I'm going to have to actually drill it out. My piece is starting to fall apart now. So they have given me a good challenge on this landing gear. So I'm going to have to grab my pin vise. Unexpected challenge. The hole for the peg is much too small for the peg to actually go in. So I need to drill it out. Better. And preemptively I'm going to do the same on this side. It really amazes me that this is like nowhere near in the right spot for that to fit. And of course, if I try this side, it totally doesn't fit. It just doesn't fit. It's not going to work. So now let's try this. Okay, that's going to go in the hole now. I need to put more glue because I've been playing around with this so much now. Okay, let's just let that sit and dry for a bit, and we'll get the pieces for the other side. So for the other side, it's basically all the parts we got left over. But it's just, it's crazy that it doesn't fit, like, at all. And I mean, I'm putting it together as per instructions. And nothing's lining up. Okay, oh, I got this piece. Okay, so these are our little bits here. This guy is the one that's causing the problems. When you put it in here, that's the way it goes, and there's nothing wrong with that. It fits perfectly. Okay. Or so it would seem. Or so it would seem. In fact, it's a pretty tight fit. It's holding itself. So I'll just put some glue on there just for good measure. Just to make sure it stays. Okay. Now let's test fit this side. Let's go to the other camera here. Okay. So test fit this one into here. It's closer, but it's still like this piece is hitting against the wall and making the wheel not line up. So I can try to shave off this rib right there. See that rib there? Let's go like this. This rib that's furthest back here, right here. Okay? That last one. That's causing the problem. It's pushing that linkage out, and so that won't line up with the hole. So let's see if I can get in there and trim that off. Try that on this side. And in fact, I'm going to try my gun hand nippers because they are smaller. Okay. That's most of it off. I think that'll solve the problem on this side. Almost certain. I don't know about this side. This side really seemed to be really out of whack. Okay, let's see. Oh, maybe. Hey, I'm in. It's in. That is really a tight fit though, like it's really pressed up against that corner. Really harshly. I might be able to shave just the corner of that off. To make a bit slightly better fit. Let's get rid of that a little bit. That's better. Yeah, that's better. That looks a lot better. That fits in there now. Okay, so let's go back to this one. Try not to break it apart. And see if I can shave off this edge. See if I can get that to fit in there now. Sorry guys, I gotta turn it around and face me. So almost got it. It's right at the point, right. I think I have it sitting in the hole. It's just a little. I think if I put glue on it, it'll help slide it in there. So, that being said, I need this there. So that I can glue it in spot. So it's not going to move around anymore. I'm not gluing it in, I'm just gluing the arms into position so that when I pull it out of there, it's going to stay exactly where it needs to go to fit in there. Because it is a really tight fit in there. Okay, so let's look at this one again. We have our pieces here. That guy goes there, didn't give me any problems. This guy. He goes here. There's no problems with him. Check for obstruction with the wheel. He will not obstruct the wheel, that's good. We have our little arm that's going to go in here. Okay, so that's all lined up. Not perfect, but it's going to be soon. Put that in there. Position this where it needs to be. This one actually fits in the hole, the other side did not. But that's all right. They're going to line up the same. I just need to make sure this is all glued in place. And of course, in my struggles, I wound up pulling this tiny piece out, so I gotta put that back in. Put that back on. Again, it needs to be facing downward just a little bit so it doesn't interfere with the wheel. Yep, perfect. Okay. All right, so those are both going to sit and they're going to be happy and they're going to enjoy their lives sitting like that for the next 20 minutes or an hour or something like that. I don't know. I might leave them for the rest of the day and let that glue harden and dry and keep them together, not moving at all. So let's just clean these up and get them ready. I don't think there's much of a seam, maybe a little bit. Nub marks, get rid of those. There's a little bit of a seam line, but it's not really noticeable. Once you get these painted black, again, all those little imperfections just kind of go away. It's the nature of tires. Okay, those tires are good, they're ready to be installed, just not right now. So, which brings me to a very important point. Where is my front tire? I have it on the toothpick. That's where it is. Okay, let's check out our little lights. Are you dry? Oh, it's not tacky anymore. All right, that's perfect. So let's put a little paint on there again. This time right over the chrome. and this time it didn't affect it. So that's perfect. That's the exact thing I was hoping for. So unfortunately, that's Tamiya paint on top. So it, come on. Hello. There. I don't know why sometimes these can lids are such a pain. All right. We've got to put our little lights on. Put our little lights on. Our smaller one goes on the arm, and the bigger one goes on that big nub. So we're going to leave that for a minute, and we're going to paint our tires. I like to use Vallejo's tire black. To me, it makes a rubber black. It's basically the same stuff, same color. But I just choose the Vallejo because it's water-based and it's easier to clean up. So I'm just going to clean up the little spots here, the rough marks that we made, and there we go. Okay, let's put this over here. Doink. And we got our bigger tires. Because they're bigger, it's a little easier to deal with. So having already done the main part of the tires, this makes this process a little easier. And you know, if your coat of paint is a little thicker than what you had, then who cares? Thick paint on the tires is not a big deal. I mean, unless you're building it for some kind of contest, or maybe somebody has commissioned you to build it, nobody's really going to scrutinize how your tires look, right? All right. Watercolors, which means I clean this in the sink, so I'll be back in a minute. Okay. Let's move those out of the way. Lights. Okay, that's it for that. Switch. Oh, wow, another weekday stream. Oh, yes, Mega Boy. That is true, another weekday stream. Okay, like we said, small light on the bottom thing and bigger one on the top. There's a small one, just like that. and our beta one. Just like so. There we go. Lights are in. And then we have our little tire. There we go. Front landing gear, except for decals, is finished. Okay. So there we go. I think that's enough fun for one day working on landing gear. I think that's plenty good enough. Yeah. I actually was not expecting to have those kinds of issues with the landing gear fitting into the actual fuselage. That's one of the more difficult ones I've ever encountered, where it literally doesn't fit in the hole where it's supposed to go. It's kind of disappointing, actually, but I'm just checking to make sure they are lined up so that when I do put this plane down, it's going to be sitting level and not cockeyed. Looks like it might be close, but yeah, it's definitely not a perfect fit. Definitely not Tamiya quality fitment in there. This kit so far has been pretty good as far as everything fitting together. That's been the hardest part so far. So I will casually continue finishing off the landing gear on this, getting it ready for installation. But of course installation will come after we've got the base color down. Yeah. So that being said, what's going to be next time? It looks like we're going to be doing some painting next time. There isn't really anything else that needs to go on other than stuff that gets assembled after it's painted. So I think that's what I'm going to be doing next time, guys. You're going to be seeing the dark gray that's going to be going on this. And so yeah, that will be next time. So this is where I'm going to leave it here for today. And yeah, I'll put the little decals on the landing gear that's supposed to be. It doesn't look like any goes on the rear. It's only on the front. And yeah, I'll put the tires on the rear, and that'll be it. And then put them aside and wait for actual installation. So in the meantime, hit that like button, hit subscribe down over there. Check out the description box below and you'll see some links to my Instagram and my Twitter and to the Razor file that I like to use so much. Yes, if you want to get one of those. I have to say I'm not sponsored by them. I just love them and it works really great. And anyway, that's going to be it for today, guys. And it's also it for my holidays, which means back to work. Yep, real life's going to hit hard. Yeah, anyway, I want to thank you guys for watching. Thanks for all the support. Thank you, Philippe, I cannot pronounce it. Felipe, I don't know, I'm not sure what it is. Thank you for your comments. I hope you enjoy this series. And thanks for supporting me all this time. And yeah, we'll see you all in the next one.